Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Smoky Mountain Railway. So the whole double interchange thing is going to be nuts. I kind of like it. It adds a little bit of challenge, but it's going to be nuts, and you're about to see why. So if we go back into the first person here, and we hit tab, you can see we have our gondolas for the Whittier Sawmill. We don't have our boxcars because guess where our boxcars are at? They're down here. Our 3 boxcars are down here. That looks like it's all for Bryson, thankfully, which is good. What is up with you? Oh no, they go to the Bryson interchange. And this one goes to the Whittier interchange. Oh man. Oh man. That actually shouldn't be too hard to get. What are these? So that's Appalachian Hard. That's a lot of stuff. Oh, some of these are going to the bridge side as well. Okay. Okay, so let me think about this real quick, guys. That's going to Appalachian Hardwoods too. So, this is going to be a little more complicated. Okay, 71. Let's go ahead and get 71 ready, raring, and going. Because we need to get on this pronto. Oh no, stop. I keep forgetting that this weather mod that appears to be absolutely useless to me. Don't know if it's useless for everybody. I'm not saying it's a bad mod or it's a mod that doesn't work. It just doesn't work for me. It's highly possible I've got something, another mod in here somewhere that is causing some compatibility issues. I think 91 can stand to stay down here. I don't think we need to send it up the mountain at the moment. But what we're going to do is, since everything here is going to Bryson except for these 4 cars, we're just going to shunt these 4 cars back into here, get the train ready to go to Bryson, and then go ahead and get 101. Oh, wait a minute. No, that was a mistake. Okay, you stop. Yard, reverse 20. And we're going to go ahead and get those cars down there that are going to the Bryson interchange ready to be put on this train. Okay, that didn't derail the train, apparently. Whatever, I'm not questioning it. We are not questioning it. Really probably should derail the train, but that's okay. Okay, so we're going to cut you right here, so let's go ahead. Heck, we're only going to set 1 handbrake. We're not on a grade. And I am doing this the... Oh, wait, no, I'm doing this the cheaty way. Just to make it a little quicker. Let's get you going ahead. 15. Now, 101, you go forward at 10. And let's make sure that we have all the switches set. No, we don't. Okay. So now do that for you. Oh no. Come on. Come on, Brandon. Did you really just do that? Ah, me. Ah, me. Me, oh me, oh my. I meant to uncouple behind the sawmill cars for obvious reasons. I'm getting ahead of myself. I got to slow down just a little bit. Got to slow down just a little bit. Okay. Okay. Release your handbrake. And apply your handbrake. Brake those. Whose thing is still set? Did I not? Oh, I didn't release your handbrake. Okay. That's acceptable. Now, I also want to show off Whittier, because now this is if the mod actually worked, obviously, which we'll see if the mod actually worked or not. But I downloaded a mod that should make Whittier look a little nicer. Something that I've been saying for a majority of the time is everything's dead. Everything, none of the towns look lived in, none of the area around the tracks looks lived in, so I downloaded a mod that should do something about that. Something I didn't check was how everybody's coal, water, oiling levels, how everything like that was going. Ooh, so 71, we really need to water 71. Before we send her to Ela, I think. I don't know. She probably has enough water to run today's stuff, so I may not worry about watering her until at least the end of the video, if not next video. So let's go ahead and back these guys into the siding. That should be plenty far enough. Alright, set your handbrake. Uncouple you. And I think what I'll probably do, since none of our hoppers are going to Bryson, what I'll probably do is once we get this train sent off, I'll probably go down, maybe on camera, maybe off camera, get 92 to get the train ready to bring the Whittier sawmill cars up here, or up to Ela. And we will then deal with the box cars when that time comes. We will go ahead and get the train to Bryson ready. Oh, I missed it. I'm getting run over. Here we go. We can walk right through the cargo. Very convenient. Our finances are also looking pretty dang good. We've got $10,000 right now. And after the loan payment, we probably will pay back as much of that loan as possible. Or I think that's what I'm probably going to do. I also have went in and set the time compression to real time. Being that I have to run from both ends of the railroad now, it's just going to be a lot simpler to run at standard real-time, no time compression, I guess is what I'm trying to say, running the game with 0 time compression. I think will definitely be the play now. And this is going to be a pretty heavy Bryson train. Especially once we add the 3 box cars from the sawmill into the mix. Okie doke. All I want to do is just clear this switch by a decent margin. Okay, now let's jump down here to 101, which I'm really tempted to renumber 110. Let's grab you, yard forward 20. And I'm just going to leave the East Whittier interchange boxcar to go with our load train when we pull everything out at the end of the day, instead of trying to deal with it up in the yard, being in front of our Bryson interchange stuff. The big thing with that is, because we've already got 101 at the back of the train, I don't have to deal with getting 101 to the front of the train, getting this into the interchange, getting 101 back around to the back of the train, when we can just drop that car here, where we're going to put all of our loads later in the day when we actually fully switch out the industry. And let me make sure real quick that nothing needs to be switched out down here and come up to Whittier. No, it doesn't. Does anything in Ela need to go to Bryson? No, it doesn't. We've got the 2 Ela house track cars that need to come back up to Whittier, but that's A-okay. 71 will handle that after she does the switch off with 91 for all the Bryson interchange cars coming onto the railroad. I think 101's good when watered. Yeah, we re-watered her, so we really don't need to worry about her water level. What does 71's water level look like right now? Ooh, not great. We do have water in Whittier. I really don't want to run the train out of water. The locomotive out of water. There's actually a mod on the Nexus right now that if you run your locomotive out of water, it causes absolutely catastrophic damage. Which I'm really am tempted to download, but then also I really don't want to download that mod. I've yet to ever run a locomotive out of water, but there's always that very high possibility that eventually I will. And to be honest, it's kind of cool to have a reason to say, no, I'm not going to run my engines out of water. No. We'll see, I guess. Right? I'm probably going to continue adding mods to the series. And if anybody's interested, if somebody sees something new and I don't mention the new mod, then throw it in the comment section down below and I will make sure that I show it off. And actually, if anybody is interested, even if one person's interested in the mods list that I'm running, I will definitely do a video on that to show everybody the mod list that I have. It's a pretty extensive mod list, but I will do a full video on that, explain every mod. It'd probably be like 2 hours long, but I think that would be okay, or or maybe do it just as a live stream, and that way I can just do it, and it'll just save it as a VOD. Okay, now let's get these guys onto the Bryson train, and we'll get them sent off. And then I'll probably stay on camera, roll through roll through Whittier, and then I'll probably jump off camera, go down to Bryson, and get everything set to get the Whittier train up to Ela. There's going to be a lot of extra switching, and depending on how long the switching takes, this may be the first video where I split it up into 2 separate videos for one day. Pretty much up until now, every video has been a single day of Railroader, But going back and watching some of the footage, I feel like I'm starting to get to where trying to keep it under an hour. I'm really cutting out a lot of stuff. And I don't want to cut everything out, obviously. So, but let's do this. Run back up here. This is going to be a fairly long train. Pretty hefty train to send down. But I think I'm going to go ahead and run this in manual. And I think we're going to go ahead and just water up 71. That way I just don't even have to worry about thinking about it. Don't know that 71's going to be able to handle this with enough precision for me to water her. We'll find out, won't we? Okay, let's go ahead and back off the throttle. So that's going to take a fair amount to stop this train. And then we're going to throw the train just into emergency. Oh, no. That was too quick. Oh, it's actually good. It's going to work. It's actually going to work. Okay. Well, you know what? With that being said, I'm going to go show you the Whittier mod that I downloaded, if it worked. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It didn't work. Oh, no. It didn't work. Oh, well. We'll try and fix that. I'll try and fix that up between videos. There may be something downloaded that, or something that I thought I had downloaded that I didn't actually have downloaded in the dependencies for the mod. Oops. That's okay. Like I said, we'll figure it out. I guess I'll figure it out in between videos. But let's go ahead. Let's see. Holy cow, can I please get in between the cars here? Thank you. This is a pretty slow process. Don't get me wrong. But, yeah. She's doing good on coal. Not too worried about it. We're going to have to pretty quickly send that guy back off. And eventually we are going to be getting more coaling places. So what I may do is I may end up sending that down to Bryson. And letting it just sit there. Because if I'm not mistaken, I know when you get over here to Nanahala, there's a coaling track over here, and I'm pretty sure that there's actually a coaling track mod that I have installed that actually kind of expands on that. Perfect. Okay. Well, let's get you sent off the tracks to Ela at 15 miles an hour. Make sure that everything is switched good, because it wasn't, and I do not want to send this train up the mountain. Thank you. Really doesn't matter what way you decide you want to go in at Ela. But I think I'm going to send it down this track to here. Okay, so we've got the whole Bryson train going down the tracks at almost 850 tons. So that's pretty hefty. That's pretty hefty. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and jump down to 92, and I'm going to get all the cars from the Bryson interchange up here, and then I'll probably show building the train back up for the Whittier stuff. So I'll see you when I get that done. Okay, well, I've brought everybody back in a little bit quicker than I was planning on bringing you back in, but you'll see why. So, This head car is actually going to Appalachian Hardwoods. So, with that being said, what we're going to do is we're actually just going to go ahead. We're not going to switch it out. We're not going to stick it in the siding that it goes in yet. But we're going to go ahead and drop it here at Appalachian Hardwoods. Excuse me for a minute. Sorry, I had to sneeze. And what are you? Oh, shoot. And then we're gonna drop everything else here at the Bryson Bridge site. Yeah, so, but we're gonna go ahead and drop this car. That way, we just don't have to worry about it. And I said I was gonna show building the train. There's not much building the train because this guy goes here. The rest of these Bryson cars go here, and then everything else goes up to Ela to be taken to the Whittier area. So let's go ahead and run down here. There's actually more distance than I was thinking there was left, so we're just gonna go ahead and throw her up to 20 miles an hour. Is 91 running without its headlight? Oh no, it's got its headlight on. Just didn't look like it was. Oh, whoa, wait. Stop. Please stop. Stop, please. Please stop. That was close. The inactive parts of my brain just realized that I don't want to take the train past the switch. I just want to take one car past the switch. So therefore, we do not, I repeat, we do not want the rest of the train in the way. Okay, reverse this into the siding. Should probably do this at 10 miles an hour. And then I didn't even pay attention to which track it goes on. Actually, it goes on R1. So actually, no, we are actually going to just go ahead and throw it where it goes. Oh no, it's so close to being, that one's so close to being out. Well, it gets to wait till tomorrow to be taken to the interchange because I'm not dealing with it. I'm not dealing with it today. You know what? You can just go ahead and stop. There's no need for it to actually be coupled up, I don't think. So, yay, we've already been paid for something today. That's so cool. Okay, 15 miles an hour. I don't want to be on this side of the tender. I don't think I'm attached. Oh, I am attached. Cool. Cool, I'm attached. That's how I'm gonna describe it. I'm attached. I can probably go ahead and throw this switch once we get by it too, because we're not gonna need to go back in there today. We do have one Appalachian hardwood car that needs to be brought down from, or that is being brought down from the East Whittier interchange. I don't need to give an order for road speed. Get coupled up to this. And then we're going to leave the Whittier cars on this track. Shunt these guys as far back up into the bridge site track as possible. And then 91's actually going to have a pretty easy morning taking the Whittier train. Nowhere near as many cars. Well, I'm not going to say nowhere near as many cars. Because in the last episode, all we took was the sawmill stuff to Whittier, if I remember correctly. So it appears that it randomizes it, which, as much as the really logistical side of my brain that wants to say no, just send them to the closest interchange, I know that doesn't make sense. So you kind of you're kind of gonna get them wherever the railroad that shipped them to you is at, right? So, you know, you can't say, well, you're in Whittier, you better, you know, you're in Whittier, you're the sawmill, you better get them shipped through this interchange. It's not how that works in real life. They're going to ship them whichever direction they need to go, obviously. So, okay, we'll go ahead and ease off the throttle a little bit. And go ahead and I'm probably going to leave the Whittier cars like right here-ish. So I want to go ahead and jump off. I'm actually going to call it to stop right here. And it'll actually stop quicker than I think it's going to. Actually, no. That was pretty good, actually. And I'm actually going to set 2 handbrakes because they are sitting on a pretty fair grade there. And then, like I said, these are just going to end up getting pushed basically as far up in there as possible because we've got the other bridge site cars coming down from Whittier. And stop. Doke, reverse at 15. Okie doke. Get one of the most famous parts of the Great Smoky Mountains Railway, or the real world Great Smoky Mountains Railroad. Shouldn't call it the Great Smoky Mountains Railway. That's us. The real Great Smoky Mountains Railroad, which is the Tuckasegee River Bridge, at the west end of Bryson City. I had to think about that for a minute, for some reason, and that's kind of the real famous videos and pictures of 1702 going over the river. A lot of times it's this bridge. Sometimes it's the bridge at the east of Bryson City, or what in the game is called the Ela Bridge. But it's a pretty cool area to go chase the train. I enjoy going to chase the train there myself. And for whatever reason, I still have yet to, do another, rail fanning video. But it seems like here lately, rail fanning's getting a really bad rap. And I couldn't imagine why. I might actually keep you guys on and tell you my thoughts on that, because I've been a rail fan since I was 5 years old. So I love going down to the Norfolk Southern Main Line, which is down. It's like 30 minutes or 20 minutes south of me. It's the Piedmont Division Main, and there have been a number of times where, over the years going down there, that I've seen stuff where it's like, that's not good. It's probably not going to derail a train, but that's not good. You know, I've called the NS hotline on a number of occasions because a great story. I was chasing the Southern Heritage Unit 8099, I think, one time, and it went by, and that was kind of the end of my chase. I knew I wasn't going to be able to beat it anywhere else, so I kind of sat there, and I knew there was another train coming, and the crossing gates didn't go back up. The crossing gates didn't go back up. So, I call NS's hotline, and I'm like, hey, I prefaced it by saying I'm a rail fan, but your gates aren't coming back up. I said there are people needing to use this crossing, and they said, well, we'll get somebody out there, and thank God it's this really, really long, straight stretch of track. And, I got out and made sure no trains were coming and got the people across the tracks. Here came the other train, whatever. Calling them back, said another train came through, it's still doing the same thing. They said, all right, well, we've got a guy coming. He should be there in 10, 15 minutes. The guy showed up, thanked me for calling. There was an issue with it, and I left. To me, that's sort of what our responsibility as rail fans, right? When it comes to if we're rail fanning the mainline railroads, there have been controversies even here on my little stretch of the Norfolk Southern of people posting stuff on YouTube that they really probably shouldn't have, of crews not doing the right thing. Jeez. Anyway, and, not saying that some of those controversies that the employees didn't deserve to kind of get reprimanded for doing what they had done. I just, I think it should have been an internal matter, and that's that. The court, because the court of public opinion, especially when it comes to rail fans, this is like my biggest gripe with rail fans, is a majority of rail fans, even though I have volunteered at TVRM in my life, I'm not a railroad employee, I'm not a railroader, I don't know, what I know of railroading is just general knowledge that I have learned over the years of being around it. That does not mean that we have any idea, as the standard rail fan, really and truly, what goes in to making the railroad work. But that, to me, is our responsibility as rail fans. If you go rail fan a tourist railroad, like I said, I live an hour and a half from the Great Smoky Mountains Railroad. I love going in rail fanning there. I don't really ride the train. I haven't ridden the train other than take my cousin and her family. They invited me to go with them to ride the Polar Express. We went and rode the Polar Express. And aside from that, I really don't. I haven't taken a ride on the Great Smoky Mountains Railroad in I don't know how many years. But I go out and I rail fan. They're running a steam engine. That draws them a lot of money in. Running steam locomotives draws a lot of money in. You can charge more for a steam locomotive. It's a really good business. But the big thing is they're drawing in rail fans. They're trying to draw in as many people like us as possible. So I always try and buy something from their gift shop. I mean, that to me is how to be an ethical rail fan. You don't get in the way of anything either. Don't get in the way of the train. I don't know how many times I've been to places like the Smoky Mountain Railroad, TVRM, and I've watched, unfortunately, younger teenagers, maybe even right at that preteen stage, that they're running around like chickens with their heads cut off. They're getting all over the tracks. They're getting in front of steam locomotives that are getting ready to leave, and they're blowing the whistle at them, and they're not moving. That gives all rail fans a bad name, and I understand that every group, it doesn't matter what you mean when you say group. There's always going to be a very small minority that ruins a really good experience for the majority. That's always going to be a thing. That's always going to happen. There's no way around it. If we're going to be honest, there's no way around it. But the situation that I think I'm going to spend probably an insufferable, probably for you guys, amount of time talking about is this thing that went on in, shoot, I'm going to have to look up exactly where it was, even though I've pretty well been keeping up with it. Here we go. Yeah, Nebraska. Okay, I thought it was Nebraska. But this guy, I'm not going to say anything about his channel. I'm not really going to say any opinions. The guy is, the kid, he's 17 years old. He's 17 years old. The problem with somebody that's 17 years old is they're old enough to know better, but if they have never been taught better, then they're not going to know better. But anyway, this kid up in Nebraska, there was a coal train, I think, coming down from a power plant up there, and they had a defective car. I don't exactly know what it means by defective. Probably a hot box or something, maybe. But anyway, they had to leave it. They had to leave it in a siding at a grain elevator. And this kid allegedly. I'm going to preface by saying everything I say, if I don't say allegedly, everything I'm saying here is allegedly, is a preface for anything I say here. Allegedly went out before this train was going to come through. I've watched a bunch of videos on it. I've heard different time frames, so I'm not going to give a time frame. It was before. Okay, they caught a car parked near the tracks on CCTV camera footage. The occupant of the car gets out. They go to the trackside. Investigators, I guess, assume he cut the lock. Maybe there wasn't a lock. I don't know. Either way, the lock, which usually is a padlock, which I don't know what that says about the railroad itself, but it usually is a padlock. I mean, usually nobody's going to screw with it, especially not a rail fan, and realign the switch into the siding. The occupant of the vehicle returns to the vehicle and leaves, right? CCTV footage has the same car, I want to say it was a Buick of some kind, coming back to the crossing that's just along the tracks from the switch, park just 5-10 minutes before the train comes through, and set up his tripod to film. And I watched the film. I'm not going to go do a watch party live stream or something like that. I'm probably not even going to legitimately make a video on it. This is probably, unfortunately, this episode of Railroader has probably turned into sort of my video on this situation. The train comes into the siding, hits a derail. It's not going to stop anyway, but hits a derail, hits the defective coal car, and, I mean, you can imagine, a lot of dust, and somewhere along the lines of $350,000 worth of damage was done. That, to me, is nuts. Luckily, the crew escaped with no injuries. They were very shaken up, I would imagine, but no injuries. I just cannot imagine somebody that is truly a rail fan going out and doing something like that for views. I really can't, because if you're a real true rail fan, the YouTube part of it should be sort of the side part of it. Now, I mean, I know there are great guys out there that do it sort of as a living. People like Delay and Block Productions, Distant Signal, and some of the other guys that don't necessarily do as much actual rail fanning as much as they're into the history of everything. People like History in the Dark. I think that's his channel name. I think. Anyhow, that, they kind of take the armchair approach, which, for the most part for me, I have such a busy life now, and I love playing video games. Railroader's not the only video game I play, but it's mostly the one that I kind of can take and lay back, with, and I feel like making videos of. So even now, I'm sort of an armchair rail fan. I might actually go rail fan, a grand total of once, twice, maybe 3 times a month, and it just, for me, now that stuff like this has happened. This isn't the first time somebody has sabotaged a railroad, but this is the first time that a quote-unquote rail fan has been charged with tampering with it. That doesn't mean this isn't the first time this has happened, mind you. This is just the first time that I can think of that a quote-unquote rail fan has been charged with allegedly committing a crime. That this whole situation just has gotten me going, I guess is a really good way to put it. It's gotten me going, and, now when I'm out rail fanning, I kind of have to sit back and think, is somebody going to be suspicious of what I'm doing out here? And I don't want that hanging over my shoulders, definitely, but I certainly don't want it hanging over all rail fans' shoulders either. That's kind of, that to me is a thing you just don't do. You don't go mess with the railroad. But, I mean, I think probably for the most part, let's check where 92 is at. I think that's probably most part the end of my little rant. It's exactly what it is a rant. I think that's pretty much the end of my little rant on that. But, I mean, honestly, people, come on. And even I will make the defense that, he probably didn't know better. He'd probably never been taught any better. Does that excuse the actions that he took, allegedly? Does that excuse the damages that he caused, allegedly? Absolutely not. The problem with this is somebody did it, and as of the current time, the alleged evidence against this 17-year-old is a very, very promising and very, very believable. So I guess all in all, the easiest thing to say about this is this is not a good situation. This is not a good situation in any way, shape, or form. And really and truly, to me, if it does come out that they do indict him for this, it does come out that there is very good evidence that he did do this, then that to me, I think the whole rail fan community needs to step back and try to figure out if this is going to become a problem. I hope it's not. But the way that things are going now, it seems more and more likely that this could become a more regular issue. This kind of stuff happening. Not necessarily this in particular. I still think it's probably a pretty rare occurrence for things like this to happen. Obviously, we know it is. Because, again, a majority of time, trains derail for for reasons that are pretty much out of anyone's control. And again, they're usually freak accidents, but in this case, it doesn't appear to have been a freak accident. But I think it's going to be really important to see. I guess just kind of how this case progresses. That I think is probably all we as the rail fan community can do right now. And as for sure as this evidence seems right now, you know, every part of me hopes that it comes out that this kid didn't do this. But you know, that's going to be a problem for him. This is the kind of thing. I think this article probably says it. So, yeah, he faces 2 felony counts of criminal mischief for intentionally damaging or tampering with property. This kid is probably pretty lucky that he has not been charged with something worse than that. But like I said, we'll see how this case progresses. And like I said, I hope with everything in my being that it comes out that the kid didn't do this. But we'll see. Okie doke. But anyway, I will be back at some point. I'm going to go ahead and get the Bryson train sent back down to Bryson. Get the Whittier train coming back up to Whittier. There's going to be a little bit of switching puzzle in Bryson, so I might show that. I might show that slight amount of switching puzzle. We'll just wait and see. But anyway, I'm gonna get these trains sent out of here in their respective directions, and I will see you in a little while. Okay, everybody, from the fireman's seat of the 101, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, in fact, enjoy the video, then do what all the YouTubers ask you to do. I hope to see you here again. You'll have a great day. Peace out.